to trauma support group management. I'm an individual that has learned to live and manage with his trauma, PTSDs, triggers, overcoming my addiction, learning how to live with my mental and physical illnesses, and have discovered that you can overcome your physical, verbal, sexual, or any other kind of abuse. Excuse me. Yeah, that's a lot. When you go through a lot like that, yeah, it wrecks your brain. But today, I want to help you today in this video here at Trauma Support Group Management. My name is Darrell Walker, and like I was saying, today is self-reflection mental. Now, this is part 2 of self-reflection. A lot of times in your lifetime, you have to sit back and observe your thoughts, your emotions, and your behaviors. Now, before I get on here and try to make it look all good, I have not always had my ducks in a row. I never had always had my eggs in one basket. But now today, I can say, I'm doing more better in my thoughts and my emotions and my behaviors. I can actually say that because once upon a time in my life, I did not always have a healthy lifestyle. I didn't always have healthy living. So today, what I'm trying to teach you, or what I'm not even trying, like I say, trying to do two different things. What I'm going to teach you today is how to have a healthier lifestyle. I'm going to teach you this today. We need to learn how to be more healthier. If you came up like I came up in the streets, toxic relationships, toxic toxic environments, toxic upbringing, just total dysfunction, you can come from a life from that. I'm the person that's making it evident today that you could come from that life of toxicity or dysfunction. Okay. Today in this class, also, this is a platform where you have to do self-improvement. A lot of times, if you're trying to get professional help, you can get professional help. You can reach out and they will give you professional help if you're reaching out for it. But far as you're looking for somebody to help you in your time of need, I have been through this personally. I give testimonies where I have needed people in my time of need. If it's not a church sponsor or a dedicated family member or organization that can help you with your mental health or whatever kind of symptoms or your homelessness, whatever you're going through, there are organizations, there are places there for you. If you see that certificate right there, that's Harbor Village in Miami, Florida. I had addiction problems. I went to Harbor Village. This is a certification of completion of one of my phases of sobriety. So guess what? You got to help yourself. Now, this certificate right here, now listen, now I had addiction. I told you, I come on here, I talk about addiction. I used to deal with addiction. So this is my certificate of addiction. Then I come on here and I talk about mental health. Well, this is my certificate of mental health. Okay. This says world's best patient. It says Darrell getting out of our face. Yeah, they was happy when I left the mental health institution to the point they gave me a certificate. So I'm not on here just saying that you have to do it. I have done it. And if you need to do it, do it. I say do it. Real. You understand? So when you have to do it, you got to do it. And you have to do what's best for you, not what's best for others. A lot of time, excuse me, in my people pleasing life, I was always that yes man. I was always that, yeah, I do it. And when you don't feel like doing it, it comes to a point in your life where you can't help nobody else but yourself. So this class, if you want to help yourself, this is the class for you today. All right. Because a lot of times we try to help everybody else except ourselves. All right. Now, I'm not saying, to be selfish or anything like that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is there's a time when you have to understand your thoughts, your emotions, and how you act. I have acted out a lot of ways in my life to the point it almost cost me a lot of time and my freedom. It lost my behaviors and my thoughts and my emotions. I wasted a lot of time in life. So if you're seeing the video today, I'm trying to help you not waste 10, 15, 20 years like I did because I couldn't have control over my thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Okay. And that's just a testimony. Now, they say you learn a lot from a dummy. Well, learn a lot from this dummy because I used to be ignorant in my time. I used to be very immature. And guess what? You know what's so sad? I want to say this. I have had times in my life where I actually had genuine help. I've been in programs. I've been to psychiatrists. I've been around people that looked up to me, and I didn't feel that within myself. You can have all the help in the world, but if you don't feel what people see, if you don't see what you see about yourself, what other people see, you will never see it. So this is good. It's another class to see how do you see yourself. If you caught me just right now, just answer this question. How do you see yourself? How are your thoughts about yourself? How are your emotions about yourself? How are your behaviors? Okay? This is a self-reflection class. Now, I'm not going to talk about me. I just give a testimony that you can do better. You can think better. You can have healthy emotions. And you can actually behave better. You can actually walk with a man. I'm looking at a man that didn't used to have self-esteem and integrity. What you call standards, qualities, and boundaries. I didn't always have standards, qualities, and boundaries, but today I have standards, qualities, and boundaries. And then he said, okay, I'm reading something, y'all. All right. I support you because you used to go to the church class, but I'm still going. Okay. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for some taking. I can't even y'all emails. I do not know how to say y'all emails, so I apologize. But I thank you for corresponding with me, and thank you for oh, you did your first communion. So listen, that's another good thing. This connection with God. So she just pushed me right to the direction I'm going. We're going to the Word of God. Amen. So she said she just did her first communion. Communion is helping you control your thoughts, emotions, and behavior. This is lining you up with the Word of God. And what's so good about this, I'm glad that the lady just said this. I don't know how to say your name. I don't know. Taking calls, that's all you, whatever. I don't know them emails, boy. Those emails would be something else. But anyway, today I'm glad that this person said this because this is very important that you have to address yourself. A lot of times, we'll say, oh, you know what? If you wouldn't have did this, I wouldn't have act like this, or you know what I'm saying? If you wouldn't treat me like this, I wouldn't have these type of emotions. Or you'll be like, you know what I'm saying? Somebody can say something to you and you could think something. It could trigger you to think something. So when you do have trauma, PTSDs, triggers like I do, or, just have unhealed issues in your life or unresolved pain that you have to deal with, because a lot of times in self-reflection, you need to see what's going on in your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. But guess what? I'm going to back it up with scripture. Today is a good day, and this is a wonderful class. Most of my classes, I have watched them myself. My last class was self-reflection spiritual, and I actually cried off that class. That was crazy. But it was touching, and when you, I want to say this, yesterday, just a testimony, yesterday, I was self-reflecting, and, just laying in my bed and, just seeing what's going on in my heart. And sometimes you can just lay there, and next thing you know, I just started crying. I was like, what's going on with me? But I found out in self-reflection that you can have some hidden pains or some hidden unresolved issues within yourself that's making you have bad thoughts, behaviors, bad thoughts, bad thoughts, behaviors, and emotions. Okay, I meant to say that right. Thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. You can have something in your heart, or a memory, or something that's going on with inside you. If that you don't know what's going on unless you self-reflect. So let's get it from the word that you should self-reflect. All right. So I'm coming out of Galatians chapter 6, right? Galatians chapter 6, verse 4. All right. It says, but let each one examine its own work. Now, here at Trauma Support Group Management, I want to say this. I am going on celebration time, celebrating my small wins. I have been working on myself. If you're watching Trauma Support Group Management, you will see that I have been working on myself right before your eyes. I'm working on myself. I have took this responsibility to better myself, and then the Lord gave it to me as I'm bettering myself. I'm sharing the things that I have learned that incorporate into my life to help you today in this video. Okay. Now listen, what if you have, just say for instance, you came out of a bad relationship. Say for instance, you have a dysfunctional family. Say for instance, you was in drug addiction, or you was in depression or heartbreak or something that was detrimental to your life. Today, I want you to evaluate, and we're gonna do this together. I want you to evaluate your process. That was good. Evaluate your process, because a lot of times we look at the problem, we look at the problem. Oh man, how messed up I was, and how dang, I made this mistake, and just stuck in that puddle of misery and regret. I'm helping somebody today. I know I am. Get out of the puddle of misery and regret. Okay? I don't know why I said that. But watch this here. Let each one of us examine. Let each one of us examine his own work. So, what process? Just think about this. What process have you made recently within yourself? I want you to think about that, because I can sit here and be like, boy, I done did this and did that. Then I got doing it. I can sit here and self-gratify myself all day, but I need you to think today. I want you to think. I want you to interact with me today. I want you to think, what process, what work, your own work, have you seen in yourself? Okay? That's something to think about for the day. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times I don't know why I'm saying this, but I'm going to say it. A lot of times I wanted people to help me, but I want them to help me the way I wanted them to help me, not the way I should be helped. And when I learned that I need to get the help that I need, that I should need, then I started helping myself, not the way somebody should help me. That's how Trauma Support Group Management was birthed. Because I say, you know what? Let me get the help that I should need, not the help the way I want it. Because you want somebody to help you. Just say, for instance, just a perfect example. I have friends, right? And a lot of my friends all are from the street. Now, I'm dealing with sobriety. Some of my friends still smoke. They still drink. And that's not, I've been sober for a good minute now, more than 1 year, more than 2 years. So that's my progress. That's my personal progress. I'm trying to help you to think like, hey, help you with your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, because your friends, your families, your peers, your coworkers, if you don't ground control and have self-reflection, these people can have control over your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Okay? And the reason why I'm talking about this, because, when you change your lifestyle, like from the streets, from doing drugs, that old lifestyle, them old friends, you can't associate with them anymore. Why? Because you're on your path. You're examining your own work. So guess what? If a relationship failed right now and it didn't work out, and because you're doing better, it wasn't meant for you. If you have family members and you're doing better and don't want to deal with you, it's not for you. If you have friends, you've been friends with 30, 40, 50 years, and you have changed and it's not working, because you know why? Because you're working on yourself. You're working on yourself. This is what Trauma Support Group Management is designed for you to work on yourself. So if you're working on yourself and somebody's still getting high and you sober, that doesn't work. If you got mental health issues and you got peace in your life, and then somebody want to come into your life with their mental health issues, how's that? I don't work too hard. I work too hard to self-sabotage. Listen, I want to say this today. Quit self-sabotaging your growth process to be a people pleaser, to be accepted. Bump that. Let's go. Watch this here. Oh man. Galatians 6:4. But let each one of us examine its own work. And then he will have rejoicing in himself alone. And now it says in the rest of it, and not in another. Today, I want you to look at yourself. Not me, but look at yourself. And ask yourself, what are you happy about with yourself? Okay? The pause is for you to think. I didn't get frozen, but the pause is for you to think. I'm going to ask this question again because this is what, I'm really on this right now. He said, and then he would have rejoicing in himself alone. What are you proud about you? What are you so happy about you? You take time and think about this. Now, I pause because I'm over here thinking too. I have put in so much work. I'm telling you, Trauma Support Group Management is coming on its 1-year anniversary in the next 7 days. 8 days, I'm sorry. In the next 8 days, I will be standing strong as the strong CEO, the representative, the founder of Trauma Support Group Management. I have put in the work. I have almost 450 videos of self-reflection, of working on myself. This whole year, this past year, I've just been dedicated to myself and working on myself. What are you working on yourself that you can be happy about? And it says, listen, it says, but let each one examine his own work. Trauma Support Group Management is my work. What have you built? What have you successfully came from to where you're at right now? To the point where you can sit back and rejoice in your. We ain't talking about not being egotistical. We're not talking about boasting. We're talking about self-appreciation, self-gratification. And not only that, let me really throw a nugget in there. Will you glorify God in your lifestyle? I can actually say, I was having a conversation, true or no, this is a true testimony. I having a conversation with somebody yesterday. And the person said, hey man, I know a phony Christian when I see one. Because I watch how they talk, I watch how they act, and I feel certain stuff. But when they looked at me, they say, you know what? You're not a phony Christian. You don't talk, you don't act like it, and you don't think like it. And I feel God with you. And I'm sitting there looking at myself like, what in the world is... So listen, when you have positivity in your life, when you're making positive steps, when you're making progress, you have to observe them in your thoughts and your emotions and your behavior. Okay? Be happy within yourself. Watch this here. It says, but let each one examine his own work, and then he will have rejoicing in himself alone and not in the other. Let me say this, y'all. And I ain't trying to be all funny. I'm just keeping it real. Since I have been on my role of recovery, no, let me say it right. Since I have been on the role of discovery and recovery, I have learned to be proud of myself. If you are making change in your life, if you have made progress in your life, be proud of yourself. Do not look for accolades. Do not look for the support. This is Trauma Support Group Management. Guess how many supporters I got? My mama and 129 subscribers. And I appreciate every 129 subscribers I got. And every 129 subscribers I got, I met them personally. Most of my subscribers, I know them. I have met them personally. Why? Because I was putting in the work. I'm not paying the algorithm to go out and represent me. In a year's time, I'm just glorifying God. I'm giving God glory for this. In a year's time, on my road to discovery and recovery, all my subscribers come from me meeting them personally. Okay? Today, I want to encourage you in the name of Jesus. Hey, to encourage you in the name of Jesus, man, to sit back and look at your progress that you have came in life and be proud of yourself. Okay? Be proud of yourself. Yeah, you could be happy for the next person's success. I'm not taking that away. You know, when one rejoices, we all rejoice, which is true. But sometimes, what if you don't people don't rejoice? Are you going to rejoice for yourself? Are you going to be happy for yourself? This is very important, all right? This is deep, y'all. This is a deep class today. I'm sorry, but this is real, all right? We're going to get into the class, but I really want you to know, if you're making progress in life, you know what I'm saying? You built this something. If you started something, if you achieved something, that's your work. If you're raising your child, you're making that business, you're writing that book, whatever it is that you putting in the work, your company, whatever it is, you be proud of that. You be happy about that. That's your work. I don't care if you're losing weight. I don't care. Whatever it is, the way you change your talk, the way you change your dress, your attitude, your living environment. I don't care. Whatever process that you have worked hard for, whatever you work hard for, be happy about it, man. Be happy within yourself and say, you know what? Oh my gosh, look, God, look what you have let me achieve, because God allowed it. That's why He tell you to look at yourself. Sometimes you got to look at, well, how far God brought you in life. You got to look at that. Because the only reason why we here is because of God. Everything I got is because of God. But God be like, hey, you know, look, sit down and look what you're doing now, boy. Be proud of yourself. Sometimes you got to be proud of yourself, man. So be proud of you today, in Jesus' name. And I'm saying that with a real clean heart, man. Salute yourself. Be proud of you. You making progress. You have made progress. You ain't nowhere how you used to be. Nowhere close to it. And I'm talking to you, not me, okay? So let's get into the class. Self-reflection, mental, all right? Mental self-reflection is the intentional practice. Listen, Trauma Support Group Management, the person you see today is from practice. I remember I started my first video and I was like this. I practiced and you could see my wardrobe changed, everything. I was fat, I was big, now I'm all swole. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's transformation, putting in the work, okay? Listen, when you put in work, things change. You can't put in work and stay the same. Like, you're not going to work for $7 an hour. Right now, some people, you can't get nobody to go to work for $7 an hour. You can't get people to go to work for $15 an hour. I'm just saying. Let's go. The mental self-reflection is the intentional practice of pausing to examine your thoughts, emotions, and behavior without judgment. I'm busy. So, therefore, Taking time to look inward breaks the cycle of living on autopilot, allowing you to understand your motives, regulate your emotions, and I'm busy, and align your daily choices with true personal value. Okay? Understand that. So we got to start looking at our thoughts and emotions and behaviors and start understanding our motives, how to regulate our emotions, and align your daily choices with your true personal value. Standards, qualities, and boundaries. I'm going to say it again. Standards, qualities, and boundaries. That's how I first started my videos, with standards, qualities, and boundaries. Now my lifestyle has standards, qualities, and boundaries. All right? Why are you saying that, Mr. Walker? Because in your thoughts, you can have standards. Okay? In your emotions, you can have boundaries. Okay? And in your behavior, you can have quality. In my thoughts, I have standards. There's some things that I'm not allowing them no more in my life. Okay? My emotions, there are some things I am protecting. My sobriety, my peace, my mental sanity, my stability, my success. And then my behaviors, I act like a man of dignity with quality. I carry myself with. When I step out, if you notice, if you go back to my videos, every time I got my hair cut, you know what I'm saying? I carry myself because I'm a man of quality. You are a person of quality. If you have standards, boundaries, and quality, you can control your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. All right? So listen, why I'm going to break it down why introspection matters. Okay? One, enhanced self-awareness. Enhanced self-awareness builds emotional intelligence by uncovering what triggers specific behavior reactions. Listen, when you have trauma, PTSDs and triggers, and you overcome an addiction and overcome mental, physical illnesses and overcoming sexual, physical, and verbal abuse, you have to pay attention what sex you are. You have to pay it because you know what I'm saying? When you have self-reflect, you can say, you know what? I know I can't be around that person because they bring out old behaviors. I was talking to one of my friends yesterday on the phone, and I was talking like I was hanging with him in the 90s. I had to catch myself like, man, what am I doing? Some people can trigger you. Yeah. So, some environments, some places you go can trigger you. That's why I'm really working on myself because I used to be in the world. So if you like me used to be in the world and out there swinging and banging, everything triggers you. If your family triggers you, if whatever, your job, something that your coworker at the job triggering you, you got to understand, hey, I need to figure out, don't let nobody set you off. You need to figure out how to have a control over this specific behavior reaction. You can't let nobody get to you all the time. But when you have self-reflection, you can say, you know what? Oh, I know that bothers me. Or I know sometimes you can see your trigger before it snaps. You can be like, oh, yeah, I can look at them and tell they're finna say something to me I don't want to hear. So let me have some control. Let me avoid that situation. A lot of times when you have triggers, I want to talk about this. When you have triggers, you can address it. Say, hey, I'm not comfortable, or I don't want to be around this, or I don't want to deal with this. That's standards, qualities, and boundaries. You know, when you have triggers, things bother you, people can say certain things and they affect you, you can walk away. Sometimes just leave it alone, walk away, and don't go back. All right? That's the best for you. Sometimes you got to do what's best for you. All right? Number 2, encourage intentional practice. Helps you learn from past mistakes to make better future choices. I want to say that, boy, that's deep right there. That's how trauma support group management is birthed. This is how the person you see today. I have learned from my mistakes. I learned my friends ain't my friends. I have learned my family ain't my family. I have learned I don't have to be responsible for other people's issues. I got my own issues. I have been with women with kids. Right now in my life, I don't have children. So I don't have to help no woman with their children. I'm a man that holds his own, take care of himself. I'm not saying that you should have a heart to help people, but you cannot help people unless you're helping yourself. And then if you do help people, how is it going to, sometimes you got to think about it. How is it going to be like them? They come to get around you to see how it's going to benefit for them. Sometimes you need to be like, if I help you out, how is it going to benefit me? Because when the last time I helped you, the last time I was in this situation. So sometimes we need to go back and don't forget where we come from. We need to look at the last time. What happened the last time I was thinking about doing this? What happened the last time with the same person I helped with? What did I get out of it? Nothing. So sometimes we need to sit back and look at our past mistakes so we can make better decisions in the future. And that's deep, man. You know, insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. Some of us, you know, we're not doing it. We're not learning from our past mistakes. And we keep making the same choice over and over and getting in the same situation. And then when you get in the situation, you want somebody to help you. No. Learn from that situation you just got out of. Learn from that relationship. Learn from that jail sentence. Learn from that addiction. Learn from that abusive relationship. Learn from that financial struggle so you can think better on your future choices. And that's real. Hey, chin chin, y'all hear that? Hey, chin chin. Hey, let's go. All right? Chin chin. Hey, that chin chin. So I must have said something right. It's so good in the spirit that it's chin chin in the natural. You feel me? For real, we need to really look and just not just sit there and marinate on it, but just really be like, man, I remember last time I went through this. I remember the last time I dealt with this person, what I got. I remember the last time I was over here in this area, I went to jail. I remember the last time I was in addiction, I lost it all. I remember the last time I let somebody come and move in with me, I lost my peace in my home. You better go back. Boy, don't forget where you come from. That's why I'm telling you to be proud of yourself today. Don't forget where you come from. Learn from them past experiences so you can make better future choices again. Let's go. All right. Whew. This is deep, y'all. All right. So listen, we're going to keep going. Number 3, strength, resilience builds the cognitive flexibility required to cope with life stressors. Okay. Sometimes things could come into your life, but listen, when you self-reflect, you don't forget where you come from. You could deal with certain situations more better. And guess what? Some situations that come at you, it be the same situation. It's just how you handle it. Some things I'll be dealing with, I'll be like, that's the same thing. It's just coming in a different form. Oh yeah, I know how to deal with this. Let me handle this situation more better. Because I learned, first of all, not to stress out, not to freak out, not to be triggered. Just, hey, all right, I've been through this. All right, I know how to deal with this. Sometimes you can learn when you've been through so much. This strengthens your resilience. So much you have been through, you can be like, I ain't going through that, and I ain't finna do that. It'll help you because you already know what you can and cannot do. All right. Number 4, it aligns your life, lowers your psychological stress by closing the gap between your actions and your core belief. Now, listen, this is very deep because people pleasing and people accepting and doing favors and all this type of stuff. Like, yeah, it's good to be good, but it's not good to be somebody doormat. It's good to help, and be supportive, but don't let nobody take advantage of you. The reason why I'm saying this because sometimes, you have to have standards, qualities, and boundaries. You have to have this in your life because you gotta understand something. All right. If I say I'm a Christian in recovery action, right? If I'm a Christian or a recovery addict, I have to be around. First of all, my actions got to be, man, I don't want to be around people that smoke. I don't want to be around people that's on drugs. Why? Because my core belief is sobriety. And then on my other core belief, I need to keep my sanity. And then on my other core belief, I represent Jesus Christ, and I represent trauma. What do you represent? What are you standing up for? How are you showing your actions? If you say you have changed, how are you showing the actions that you have changed? And if you have changed, what is your core belief for you to continue to change? My core belief is this, that you can change. You can come from anything you put your mind to it. I have really sat back and watched myself do this myself. I want to encourage you today. Let your actions line up with your core beliefs. So if you say you're a Christian, let your actions line up with that. If you say I'm sober, let your actions line up with that. If you say, hey man, I'm getting mentally stable, let your actions line up with that. If you say you're a clean person, when somebody come in your house, they need to see a clean house. If you say you have a healthy lifestyle and somebody meets you, your actions need to line up with that. When I go out and I wear my shirt, I have to be careful with my thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Why? Because I'm representing, this is my core belief, trauma support group management, a place, a billboard of that you can change. And I represent Jesus Christ. I represent Jesus Christ. Romans 10:9. I represent Jesus Christ. Romans 10:9. So not only I represent my brand, but I'm representing Christ as well. So guess what? My actions is that you can change, and my core belief is in Jesus Christ. So what are your actions and your core beliefs equaling out to? Think about that today. Okay? Now listen, for you guys or you ladies or teenagers or even the dog or the cat and the bird, if you want to get started on a healthy lifestyle, a healthy journey, on self-reflection, on your mental, this is how you can do it. I'm going to give you some tips today, and we're going to be done pretty much almost with the class, okay? Just stay with me. Number one, dedicate some quiet time. Block out 5 or 10 minutes daily or weekly for silent contemplation. This is how you self-reflect. You can sit down and just process your day and see, or whatever conversation, whatever happened with your thoughts, behavior, your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Sit down and take time with yourself, okay? Number two, lean into curiosity. It shifts from critical why questions to objective, curious what questions, okay? So sometimes you could go from why to what in the world? Like, why did somebody call me? And what am I finna do about it? Or why would I got money, why would I go spend it? And what would I get? Sometimes you got to ask yourself why and what. Like, why is this happening? And what should I do? I don't know. That was just an example, okay? Number three, use guide prompts. Observe your thoughts and eternal physical sensation. Like an objective outsider. So sometimes you gotta look at your thoughts from, it says an internal sensation, like an objective outsider. So you gotta sometimes be like, man, sometimes you could be like, hey man, or you could go ask somebody for their opinion. Sometimes if you're not sure about something, you got that healthy person or that spiritual spouse or that community, that spiritual community or that supportive community, you could go to them and say, hey man, what you think about this? And sometimes you could do this with yourself. You could say, dang man, something could come on and something could come into your life. You can sit down with yourself, honestly, and say, man, what you think? Have a self-reflection talk. What do you think about this? You can look at it like this, like you're another person. I know this sounds crazy, But sometimes you got to do stuff like this. So because you might don't have nobody to talk to. You might have to talk to yourself. That's self-reflection. Hey man, it's a situation going on. What you gonna do about this? How you want to handle this? Because you got to look at it from the outside view. You know what I'm saying? Instead of sometimes within yourself, you got to ask yourself. Like you say, for instance, you want to help a friend. And you got to be like, should I help a friend? And if I help a friend, like how this going to play out? Like you got to look at it not from your view, but from the outside view. Like you got to not play it out in your mind, but really look at it like as if you're not in the situation and see how it'll unfold. Sometimes it's good to do that. Step outside yourself, but still self-reflect. Number 4, drop self-judgment. Create a safe, eternal mental space by practicing strict self-compassion. Let's say that again. Create a safe, eternal mental space by practicing strict self-compassion. Listen, every day, you say something good about yourself. Make it a habit. Make it a habit. Get in the mirror. Look, love yourself. Speak to yourself. Be proud of yourself. Sometimes just sit in and look where you at. Look, your house, your car, wherever it is that you have made progress in life. Look at that vision, look at that book, that new outfit, whatever it is that you can say, you know what, I love myself. And look. Sometimes you got to pat yourself on the back because God, I don't know. What I'm saying is God requires us to do things. And what's that? That's faith. So what has your faith in your life, what you believed in, got you loving yourself? Every day you believe in something. You believe in get up and go to work. You believe in making that vision. You believe in that project. You believe in loving that spouse, loving that kid, raising that child. All these type of things. You can be proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself. Every day you wake up, be proud of yourself. There's some people in worse condition than me. No legs, no arms, no in the wheelchair. And they happy every day. So what's wrong with you? You can't say yourself self-compassion and you got everything. You can't love yourself? You need to love yourself. Guess what? Be strict. Every day, say something positive about you. Every day, have a positive attitude. Every day, be thankful for something. Be strict about this. Get more firmer in being happy and having a healthy lifestyle. Okay? And I'm saying that because I have practiced this. Okay? But listen, we're almost done. Okay? So listen, we have core reflection prompts. Core reflection prompts. All right? Number 1, what emotions am I experiencing most strongly right now and what triggered them? See? Self-reflection. Okay? Remember that. What emotions am I experiencing strongly right now and what triggered them? Self-reflection. Number 2, did my actions and conversation today align with my core personal values? Once again, self-reflection. Number 3, what is one heavy thing that I'm holding onto that is no longer serving my well-being? Listen, self-reflection. I knew drugs, toxic relationship, friends that want to use and abuse me not believing in myself, me walking around that I couldn't do it. Listen, you got to check yourself, man. If things are in your life that are not helping you, they no longer serve purpose in your life. Everybody out to get what they can get from you, but what can they give to you? Sometimes you could be in life, be like, hey, I'm gonna help you. I tell people, like a woman be like, oh, can I have this? I'll be like, if I give you something, what I'm gonna get? I can give you $200, but if I give you $200, what I'm gonna get? Oh, you ain't getting nothing. Well, I guess what? You ain't helping me either. Sometimes you got to be like that, Number 4, how can I show myself more kindness and patience in a current situation? Sometimes you can sit down, whatever situation you're going through, whatever thing you're going through, you can sit down and say, you know what? It's gonna get better. I remember I was on a friend. I said this in my video. I remember I was on the phone with one of my lady friends sleeping on the beach. And I told her, I said, the day coming, I'm going to be off of drugs. The day coming, I'm going to be in my own house. And here it is today. Such and such a time later. And it's happened. It happened. Ain't nobody had to tell me that. I told myself that. That's some things you could tell yourself that could change your current situation. All right. Number 5. What did I handle well today? And what am I genuinely grateful for? So listen, sometimes self-reflection. How did you handle a situation? And sometimes in that situation, what are you genuinely grateful for? Like today, think about it. What are you genuinely grateful for? You got life. You got breath. You got family. You got friends. You're a parent. You're a leader. You're a supporter. You're a good coworker. You're the boss. You're the CEO. You know what I'm saying? You're a husband. You're a wife. You're an uncle. You're an auntie. You're a niece. You're a nephew. You're a grandma. You're something. You're alive. You know what I'm saying? You have something. It's called life. Be grateful for life. Okay? Now, I want to break this off before I end the class. This is a personal note to everyone and myself. Don't let self-reflection spiral into a negative self-talk, okay? Just because you look at yourself doesn't mean you're the world's worstest person. No, if you're looking at yourself and you're addressing issues about yourself, it's just some things that you know you need to change. You have to change because guess what? You've been like this for so long and it still ain't working. That's how I changed. I was like a certain way for so long and it wasn't working. Now I have tried this new thing in life called change and it's working for me. It's uncomfortable because it's new, but it's working for me, okay? So, like I said, don't let self-reflection be a spiral into negative self-talk. Constant self-criticism or comparison with others. Listen, I want to say this. I know y'all see me sitting here, seeing trauma support group management, seeing me with the brand in the shirt, but y'all don't know what I had to go through to get here. Some people, you know, I post for advertisement. I don't post the boast. I post for advertisement, you know, to bring people to my channel. But, you know, I also show that God has changed my life. Okay? And one thing I have stopped doing in my lifetime is putting myself down. Okay? I stopped putting myself down. I stopped comparing myself to other people because that's what I used to do. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Bruh, them, they got money. Bruh, them doing this. You know, bruh, them, you know what I'm saying? They scrapped up and they got all this money. Bruh, them got shoes and clothes and all that. I stopped that. And when I stopped that, I got shoes and clothes just like they had. Sometimes take the focus off others and put the focus on you. Okay? Now, self-reflection is a solution, focused, compassionate, and aims for personal growth. I'm gonna say that again. It's for you to focus on yourself and have compassion for yourself, and it's for you to have personal growth in your life. Here at Trauma Support Group Management, I am a great example and a representative of this class today that you can change. But it all starts with you. All right? It all starts with you. So start today. Thank you for watching Trauma Support Group Management. If you like who I am, please subscribe. Please share my video. Please leave comments or likes. I'm asking for more subscribers because I know my videos are very serious. And, you know, nobody can change you. Listen, I want to say this, and this is going to be the end. You have one life to live. And it's up to you how you want to live your life. So have some self-reflection on that. And thank you for watching Trauma Support Group Management.